Oftentimes, when I talk to organizations, people within an organization, they will say that, I've got this problem I have to solve. And okay, what is that problem? Well, we had an outage, or we failed an audit, or I was told that, this audit's coming, I better be prepared for it. Or I was asked, how many SHA-1 certificates do we have? I don't know, right? I have to solve that problem. Those are all symptoms, right? Your problem is that you're not securing and managing these identities. If you were, all of those things that you just consider problems go away. Having an outage today, you're going to fail an audit next week, you're going to continue having these things until you solve this issue, which is how do you secure and manage these machine identities. So if you think about an outage, we think about that I didn't know about this certificate because if I would have known about it, I would have renewed it and we wouldn't have had this outage. Well, if you didn't know about it, do you know where the private key is? Do you know if that key's been compromised? Do you know for sure that someone has not stood up a phishing site and used that private key and that certificate to look exactly like it's your organization? You don't know about it from a visibility perspective, from a risk perspective, from a misuse perspective. You have no idea about it. If you knew about it, you would solve that problem somewhere else. And so it's not just an operational issue, it's an operational issue plus a security issue. So I was working with an organization, and this particular organization said that we think that we've had an issue with our internal PKI. What was the issue? Well, we're not sure about if if that root CA key was securely protected at all times, and so we're going to just rekey and stand up a new PKI. We're going to do this one with appropriate key ceremonies. We're going to do this one correctly. Okay, got it. And then they said also, we haven't really controlled the issuance of certificates. There's a lot of people who can come in and just request certificates, and we don't have a lot of control over that. Okay, we see that periodically as well. And so then the organization said, okay, fantastic, this is what we're going to do, and Venafi will give you a call once we have, give us 6 months, 9 months, and we'll give you a call, and we'll bring you in, and we'll shore up these things. And so then I asked them, if you do a proper key ceremony, you get this new PKI stood up, how are you going to enforce controls so that you don't wind up in the same problem you were before? And they're like, well, we're not quite so sure how we're going to do that. And so my point to them was, don't just stand up this new PKI and then continue to let users and everyone access and request certificates. You need to not only fix the infrastructure, but you also need to fix your policies and procedures as well. Because if you don't fix policies and procedures, you'll wind up with the same mess you have now. And so what you need to do is stand up that new infrastructure and at the same time, bring in something so that you make sure that you have proper request procedures, proper approval procedures, proper visibility, inventory, all of those things that you need to do when you're talking about these machine identities. And so instead of having a problem, fixing the problem, but not really fixing the problem, fix that problem in its totality so we make sure that we don't wind up in the same spot. And we've done that with several clients.